Hey guys, I got a comment from Game Time
Four.
2073 and started to reply to his comment and then quickly realized it's going to be a really long comment, so I figured I'd respond here for anyone interested. This was a comment on one of my charger repair videos. The charger won't work, how to repair it, get it charging again. Um, he says, good video, my charger is acting really weird. My needle keeps moving up and then back down again with the full battery light coming on and off. The power coming out of the charger ramps up and down with it too. Really strange. Transformer is working. The switch is open like it should be. I'm thinking it must be a circuit board, but I don't see anything burned. Great comment. So it does get pretty tricky once you have chargers that have both the transformer and the circuit boards. I am not super savvy with the stuff on the circuit board. I might be able to point to a diode and say that's a diode, but I'm pretty limited there. So this is an example of a charger that has a transformer in it, but it claims that it's fully automatic. It probably is fully automatic, but it also has a transformer in it. So there could be, so this is a good example of a charger with both those features. I prefer the ones that are just a manual charger. You tap these together, sparks. That's a manual charger. This has the manual design with the transformer on the inside. It's got some serious weight to it, so you know it's a manual. Well, you know it has a transformer in it. It's not manual. Um, but more than likely, if you were to touch these together, there's sensors and smart things on that CPU board on there. They're like, I'm not going to do anything because I don't sense that 12 volts on a battery. So um, that's where you have an automatic charger. Automatic chargers are designed to they usually have a built-in maintenance or maintainer setting to where once your battery is all the way charged, it goes off, and then it'll come back on periodically to make sure once it senses the voltage drop a little bit, and that's kind of where the first part of my response was going to address. So with that needle moving up and down, that signifies actual amperage going into the battery. So when the needle's up, it's higher amperage. When the needle's down, it's lower amperage. Oftentimes that'll happen here and there when a charger senses that the battery's all the way charged. It's up and then it senses it's charged, so it goes down. Kinda. Usually what happens is that, if it's a 10 amp charger, it's up at 10 amps and it slowly falls down to, 3 amps, 2 amps when that battery's 99, 100% charged. It may go all the way down to 1, maybe 0, depending on what kind you have. Um, so it could be game time that you have a bad battery with really bad reserve and it is charging up really quick, and the charger says, oh, you're done, and the needle goes from up where it was charging to down, not charging anymore, and then the battery drops voltage because it has no reserve, and then the charger says, oh, needs to be charged again, starts charging again, quickly fills it up because it can't hold much anyways, turns off again. One way you could test this is you could hook up a voltmeter to your battery and see when it's charging. Do you see 14.7, 15 volts? Where do you see? And then when the needle falls, what do you see? And if you're hanging out at that charge rate still, there might be something else going on. But if you see your battery quickly go down, 12.8, 12, 11, 11 point, or 10.5, dropping, that's a good reason. If your battery's dropping quickly below 12, or even quickly below 13, that's an indicator that the battery's bad, most likely, and the charger's doing its job, but it can't successfully do its job because it's working with a bad battery. The other thing that could be going wrong, and I see this happen in manual chargers, all that is if it's an automatic charger with a transformer in it, similar to this one. Okay. Now, if you have a straight up manual charger, sometimes I've noticed when they get older, they do get a little bit more finicky, or if they've gone through mistreatment in the past and got severely overheated, they can suffer for that. And I haven't really figured out perfectly how to fully fix that yet. A few chargers I'm working on seem to be better, sometimes, but then if they get a battery with a bad cell or really bad sulfation, I see the problem again. But really that tells me that it's dealing with a bad battery. The charger is just more sensitive to tripping now. And what happens is, charging, usually it's over 10 amps. It's just, it's supposed to be at 10 amps or less, and it's going to 10, 11, 12, and you'll hear it tick, and the needle will fall. And there's I guess a fuse or something built in that overheats, cuts power when it cools off enough, reconnects power. And so oftentimes if I'm at work and I hear click, and 2 minutes later I hear for 10 seconds, click, I'm like, all right, where's the battery? Where's the charger? And oftentimes if I hook that same battery up to a charger that isn't as sensitive, I'll start smelling sulfur and it's stinking and it's getting hot because it'll have a bad cell. And that less sensitive charger just keeps on pushing amperage into it, 10 amps nonstop. So if you have a manual charger, it could be that it suffered abuse in the past and it's just more sensitive. Kind of sounds a little bit like personification there. 4 things to consider before you decide your charger is trash. First, I would try another battery. And if you've already done this, you can rule this out if it's done the same thing for both batteries. But sometimes I find that if my battery's the problem and I try another battery, it saves me from tearing into my charger and potentially messing something up that's working the right way. It saves me some time and some fiddling, possibly unnecessarily. So that's what I would do first. Second thing is try another charger. If you have another charger, or you can borrow a friend's charger that's similar to test it on your batteries, do that. See if his charger does the same thing or if it does the right thing. Third thing would be to check your connection at the alligator clamps. Third thing would be to make sure you have a good connection. Sometimes the wire right where it connects to the alligator clamps can get thin or corroded, and if you tug on it, it'll snap. And that could be from overheating, from misuse, just use and abuse, just normal wear and tear. And so check that connection, make sure those wires are strong, give it a tug, and if it snaps away, just snip the wire back a little bit and either resolder it on or crimp it on, and that might fix your problem. The last thing is, things do eventually bite the dust. So I don't believe in just throwing things away when they break. I'm a big supporter of fixing things or trying to. And eventually, however, some things are either not worth trying to fix or, as far as my skill sets go, are impossible to fix. And at that point, I do have to let things go. It can be hard. I hate wasting things and hate throwing things away that I think, there's got to be a fix here. It's tough. So those are 4 more things I'd think about, and hopefully something helps you here.